that matters is getting those points online. Playing path is in the air for day one of finals. Match one, Rondo. Let's get it started.
Energy in the arena already. It's good to hear you, Paris. Let's keep that energy going throughout the day. We'll set the stage for you as we get our playing path on board for this one. We've had some pretty good games of Rondo, mate. You touched on E-Arena there. That was something to be remembered. But the consistency and the level of aggression we've seen from these teams back in their respective groups was intense. Now we put that all together. A big hodgepodge of talent. They're going to be stepping over each other, Blanked.
I mean, they will have to, because there's going to be bodies on the ground shortly, as soon as these players start dropping in. E-Arena here, though, and teams do need to be worried. They've been taking this little odd stadium drop where they've been searching out players from different teams on their res beacon positions. Now, if you are remembering our game versus Alpha 7 just the other day, on Survival Stage Day 2, they had a real tough time of it. They were able to hold out, but E-Arena made their lives extremely difficult, but it wasn't just them. So let's see what E-Arena can get done, because a lot of teams are going to be taking those res beacons off towards the northwest side with this playing path as the fights do open up towards Yulin.
Just how hot are these drops going to be and how much aggression is going to come out instantly. We see that opening knock from the side of 4 Thrives as Razy on Vitality starts to let some bullets fly. 2 players on Orangutan instantly being knocked off their feet as well. That's 3 points achieved for Tiamba in a matter of seconds here, Blank.
QZZ already hitting the knocks left, right, and center. Milu up to 4. QZZ on 2. 6 eliminations in 1 minute 47. That is an incredible result already for Tiamba, and they should be able to get the easy res beacon. They've already cleared out most of the damn teams in that position.
Yeah, that's an unbelievable start for Tiamba. A powerhouse in the survival stage, and again delivering early into Rondo. Orangutan being forced out as well as Hora look to try and claim a few more points for themselves. 3 points for Hora, 3 in the back pocket for Nonshin Red Force, and that big 6 total for Tiamba already.
Oh my days, I mean, just coming through, Milu was just slashing at them. He pretty much cut through the entirety of 4 Thrives there, left them in ribbons by the end of it. I'm pretty sure he was up against guns as well, but he just brought the knife close quarters outside the pagoda. Real samurai here on Rondo.
Start as you mean to proceed, it seems then, for Tiamba on today's games. Sleepy taking the clash back over to Zizzy there from Nonshin. Going to be able to force him out early.
Nice.
Oh, that's a great lineup, bud. Lord coming swiftly in with that one onto S2G.
Gorgeous stuff here. But for S2G, got to chat with him for a little bit. My boy was actually getting a haircut when I was talking to him, but they were saying that they have the aggression, and that's what they're bringing here in the finals. It's what Ulf kind of lacked a little bit of. But for their Turkish team, they were looking to bring that aggression over in the group stages. They're looking to bring it again here. They've had a lot of time to study those teams, but Lost moves up and already is down. It's Kamikaze, the man with it all to give. 1 nade, 1 dream.
Ooh.
Good damn.
Yeah, it's nice bit of chip damage on the peak. Oh, wow. Lord trying to lean into it, but the pre-fire back from Kamikaze on low HP will at least secure that one. Ralph goes in aggro, though, with the shotty and absolutely pumps them full of buckshot.
Good stuff there. Solke, at least at distance, is able to recall the team back into action. We do have a Western circle. We didn't get to talk about too much. Flash already has tops in that region, so Jiao Ting currently covered, but that place can hold a lot of teams late game. Eren now coming against Win. Bear is the mouth, HP, but at distance, it's Milu once again. Tiamba up to 8 probably after this.
This is the dream start for Tiamba. And Milu, the fact that he's got 6 individual eliminations alone, mate, he was just popping off back in the games we'd seen previously. If he feeds the hot hand and can keep this going throughout the whole day, good luck.
It's the buffer that we were talking about. And there's no luck involved, but there is luck involved over on the Lucky Spin, which you can join in with us in-game right now for the 2026 PMWC, for the exclusive 2026 PMWC tournament set, which you can see on screen regularly in-game. Make sure to try your chances just like QZZ and this spray down with the S12K. We are looking at 2 eliminations per minute.
Unreal reactions as well. Coming out swinging today. We know mechanically they're very gifted as individuals, but they're putting it all on the line. And hey man, that's the way to do it, right? We were touching on the fact if you can have a huge pop-off game on Rondo, the extra buffer of points from the sheer quantity of additional eliminations you can garner from this battleground, it's worth its weight in gold, especially in a 3-day finals environment like this. You gotta get in there and get stuck into the thick of it, and Tianba are doing just that.
Again, for Tianba, their biggest success in the survival stage was the fact that they started out so incredibly hot, where it felt like all the weight was off them a lot of times. Milu making that 1v4 look real easy, I think that came from the fact that they had nothing to lose at that point. They were already in. They're just pushing a little bit further there. We haven't talked about it too much so far on the cast, but we do have Smash ruling this event. And not only does that mean that, yes, you can win technically, game 2, but it also means the further you are ahead, the harder it is for teams to catch up to you to also get into that Smash ruling. So we are looking for more similar result to Four Thrives as well as Vitality in terms of how far they sent themselves ahead in those rankings to make it difficult for any team to catch up to really engage that Smash ruling on the final day. Might be coming down to match 6, honestly.
Yeah, it will be a fun little storyline to see how that affects things going into the last day of competition. How big of a barrier that'll be, and really if other teams will have to rise up to the occasion for it to even be a potential pipeline for them. That's one for the future though, but now it's in the back of your mind. You have that context with just how much these early points matter for some of our squads. Two sides that you touched on there though, of course, being Vitality and Four Thrives. They were dominant in both of their respective groups. Easily the best squads we saw when it came to how consistent they looked and how aggressive they were. Yeah. Vitality even kind of completely blowing away what we thought was the upper limit when they then played their group, right?
I think they knocked it out by 1 point, but even that 1 point is a hard point to squeeze out in such a short amount of games. For Tianba, it's a little less impressive, I would say, just because you are playing with the dregs coming through from the group stage. We already did send what we assume to be our best 10 teams forward there. Yeah. Even so, Tianba still looked very strong, and for them, it was more a case of switching it on in those moments. And they've done exactly that. It looks like all the lights are on at home right now for Tianba. They are burning the midnight fuel. Just crazy. Actually wild. Speed at which he was, the speed at which he was like, was that 1v4 again actually? Now I'm thinking about it. Technically.
It feels like it is, especially when you then factor in, by the way, we had the one clean 1v4 he won. We then had a 1v4 attempt towards the end of survival stage that resulted in a winning free E-list and going out as the last guy. Yeah, like the conversion rate we've had on raw 1v4s from him has actually been unbelievable.
I think we're more astonished that that might be a 1v4. I mean, we didn't even clock it because it's like, is he just doing this repeatedly now?
Just full-on butcher blade coming out from Milu, chopping everyone to bits. Crazy.
Love to see it. Circle goes over towards that northern side. A bit of an awkward res beacon on this one as well, down towards the lake. Definitely possible to go for, but you get caught out on the bridges coming out from that area a fair few times here, Jackie, and also there will be teams playing around that spot, trying to hold teams out. Orangutan, though, nice rotate on the north side, will be able to get them further into the circle. Tianba, Vitality all on the back foot here, as well as Ulf. Aurora holding a 2-2 split. I think they've realized because they're so far down towards the south, likely better just try and clear their back angles and then look for maybe a major rotate on the west or the east side later on.
Shades of stadium for E-Arena, a position they'd love to play towards in a final circle, but let's see if they can win out versus Orangutan. Straight through the door, and it's easy cleanup on the opening two players. Aaron Wisgard down in a matter of seconds. Back down to a duo once again.
Four Thrives taking down a tanky there as well. Which leaves Orangutan just on one singular player, AKOP, who is sending for a res beacon. I think he might go far Bailey on this, actually, Jackie. I don't think he's going to stop off early over towards the lake. Like we said before, you get a res off there. Teams know it's happening. They will hold you out. So he is forced to go for the long rotate. But honestly, for Orangutan, it's not terrible because they can just swing back in from that northern side, and it's fairly free with where most of the teams dropped off down towards the south.
Yeah, thankfully he's got just enough time. Pulls slightly further out as well, hedges his bets. He goes up towards the top of the north side, going to get that recall in. See Vitality on screen here as well. Just the one elim to start us off with, Razy. I mean, you said it yourself, mate, doing your little special report on Vitality. Razak and Razy, that's been a hell of a duo. They're like the Cray twins, bro. You're just terrified when you see them coming at you.
Yeah, you are. I mean, one of them bringing the double hammers as well. It's a bit of a nightmare, honestly, and they are always looking for a proper shootout. But it's nice to see Axel as well as Federalis. I mean, Axel really astonished me. Because there had been so much talk about Razy and Razak, and Federalis has also had a massive amount of tenure throughout the entirety of PUBG Mobile, but Axel was just swinging and not missing. So that's what gives me a lot of hope, and I'm very, very excited to see this team perform as this tournament goes on, just because of how good all of them have been playing individually and as a unit. Taking a look at Godlike though, they're over towards that center side. I think Godlike showed us something different from their region. Honestly, they had some great aggression. I think they've been making little adaptations here and there, figuring things out as they go along. But genuinely, overall, we're impressive. We're impressive. They were second best inside of their group, only beat out by Vitality. And to be fair play, I mean, fair play.
Vitality really did get in there, mate. You got a little crunch down the zone here as well, pulling further down. A couple big names amongst the dead center of it all. Godlike, as you touched on, 4 Thrives, Vitality, Enigma Galaxy as well. The representation from Aurora, another side that could have some surprises in store for us the longer this one goes on.
Yeah, Aurora, they just seem to have this capability to choke in the finals.
Yeah, that's fair.
That's their major issue. Every single player on that team has greatness inside of them. It just seems to dwindle a little bit once we get to a finals. And we've been asking for that not to be the case for the longest time. And to get to the point now where I just don't believe in it, which is sad. But they are consistently always here, and you can't really put them down too much for that. The fact they're in most of the finals is like, that's already a big achievement. Reefus though opening up over towards Yasser from Alula. Tiamba's cut out on that eastern edge. Now there's a lot of these big pillars involved inside the circle, as well as stadium over towards that northeast side, which is a bit open on the outer edges. It slopes down into it, so if you are E-Arena, you can kind of swing past here. They also know this area very well. It is their drop spot, but 4 Thrives have beaten them to the punch here down towards their southwest from stadium.
Excited to see what the form of Fury is going to be looking like in a final situation again as well. They were massively coming alive, dude. Felt like it was way better in terms of the decision making. The communication was on point. A lot of the fights we witnessed from them. Igor as well, just playing so brilliantly with some of the individual plays. Feel like a whole new man showed up. We spoke about this big man though, and he's back on our screens again. Milu scouting around, seeing if he can get a line of sight potentially. Just playing close towards the geometry here at the cliff face. It's Ulf that aren't too far away.
Eagle and Aching desperate to get some elims on board. I mean, man, every single one over on Milu and QZZ, but these guys are the fraggers on side. Aching, a lot of times playing off the back of him. Eagle, very, very good at playing that anchor style. Generally is the last player to go down. Plays that survivalist very well for them as well. But yeah, you're right, Furia looking good. Igor's, I think, was a big surprise.
Yeah.
They've got big names on that team like Chief, Ayala. Silence also doing a lot of good work. But yeah, Igor's was just really giving it to a lot of these squads. Now, we're getting in towards our later circles with quite a lot of damn teams still involved. We talked about Jiaotin earlier on. It can house a ton of teams. It is uncomfortable to play in, and swinging from apartment to apartment is not always easy, and there's a lot of difficult windows and little places to pitch nades in. We can't quite get those full finishes on. So I'm curious to see how this will play out. I think it's going to be a little bit of a passive game going towards the end, but you do have to get in towards Jiaotin.
See over on the side of the stage, the Nick the Galaxy fans getting quite excited. But meanwhile, amongst the battleground, it's S2G that feel the hammer crash down on top of them from Nonshin Red Force. The hero of Hyunbin starting it out well. And only one man in last, forced to bail out and try and keep their dreams alive as he breezes out of action. There's Aurora as well, clashing against Ida Blank.
I mean, Ida tried to get in on the northeast side, which I think is, at this point, a little bit too late. They got crunched in by Vitality as well as Aurora. I think you somewhat deserve that coming into this stage of the game. Jiaotin's still far on the western side, but because it's such a big amount of landmass with a lot of places to play, you do see a lot of teams confirming here early, but you sort of want to be on that end where Aurora is, Vitality, where there is those clear exit points across the road. A lot of other teams have to take something a little bit more unfortunate. Fourth rise though, Joker stepping up to the plate here, spraying through the smoke. There's one close. He's giving himself away though, Jackie.
Yeah, this is risky, bro. IQ had to be so swift with a shotgun here. It's Joker just teasing them, dancing around on top of the rocks. So much damage already done to 4 Frives. This would be a hellish way to go down. And that's how they fall in our opening game. E-Arena.
E-Arena down, but back on board with Tiamba. Milu finding the first, as per usual. Scarface desperate against it, but he's just pushing up. A-King will find another shot. Solus is down. This is looking very, very bad for Ulf. And Tiamba puts up more points. Milu on a fat 7 so far.
It's not going to stop either. They want even more. Squeeze whatever points they can get out of this one. Eren had to tuck his tail and absolutely bolt it. Finds a lone rock in a field and gets his head down. Turns his attention back up onto him though. Few shots as he dumps the magazine towards Milu. And someone needs to stop him, Black.
Milu is just out of control this game. You're right, needs to be leashed. QZZ still taking some damage here. I'm kind of curious from where. But if it's Fury, you're actually taking a couple of pot shots over towards them. Eren not letting up. Just about press over the top of that ridge side. They're going to take the blue for a little bit to try and deny those sightlines. They make their way over towards the pagoda. Just about in here, Jackie. Difficult spot to play. Curious to see how it does work out. Aurora, it seems like both them and Vitality have been tossing a couple of curveballs at one another. Well, Eren does find Eagle. Goodness me, still being a nuisance on that east side.
Fair play, man. He's thinking, you want to try and ruin this for us on game 1? We'll at least make it uncomfortable. Force out the utility, see what he can scrap through onto them. Can't really make a move towards that recall, the zone coming in, and that's going to really crunch up away from all of them. Still dead center for Vitality.
Yeah, Vitality's actually in a really good spot here. Like I said before, it does give them that capability to move out over towards that northeast side if needs be, but they also can crunch every single team on that western side. There was one player left remaining from Ida. It is Darkin. He is over on the eastern side of Jiaotin, just hanging out for the time being, but that does kind of save grace for Vitality, because they'll hear the shots immediately if someone tries to rock up over towards Darkin, just give them a brief opportunity to reassemble and reassess how they want to play off on that eastern side. Replay here from Federales, just instant shots. I think this has been a key factor for Federales throughout the entire tournament as well. Reaction speed. He is quick with it.
It was quick and on a disgusting angle as well, so good plays. Oh, Federales, no one clears it!
Hello?
He doesn't get the playoff!
Tiamba?
They turn around back onto it and Federales falls! What's gone on there?
This is an insane push from Tiamba, by the way. They have practically mostly lived it. Only QZZ goes down. I don't know how Tiamba is here. They immediately scarpered from that south side, and they took the most bold push. I was like, goodness me, Vitality's going down. And I was like, goodness me, Vitality's going down to Tiamba of all teams.
Mate, this is lunacy. Milu's looking for the nade as well, wants to really commit to this. Meanwhile, the last man from Ulf goes down. They fall second into our first game. Milu priming the nades. Oh!
Nice, good nade from them. Hits it back. Axel and Razak still up and kicking. That nade looked dangerous. Milu's down, tries to crawl his way back in towards the smoke to mask his presence here. QZZ still alive. Last of a player up, probably the one you want to see as well here for Tiamba. 14 eliminations this game so far, though still decent. That is greedy. Vitality's gonna let it happen?
Oh, mate. He's gonna get it in. The res is gonna get him back up. The insane bit was as well, it was the nades from Aurora from all the way in the back line that got that initial knock back over onto Milu. Vitality have just been caught in the middle of it all. Most aggressive game of badminton with nades being bounced over the top of their heads. Molly in round the corner, QZZ with a nade back.
We're just going for it.
Angle, good night!
No way.
Good night! The shotgun knocks them both out!
This is what I can't believe about QZZ, because he's like, I've run out of grenades. You see so many players just step back and be like, that's it then. But he's like, if I can't do it with a nade, I'm just facing. I'm fully facing. Now Aurora, they're pushing on the sidelines. Can Tiamba hold 2 versus 4 here? It's a tough one. The opening grenade is not good, but Reefus is taking a ton of damage. Top bullet finds at least find QZZ, and it seems like Milu will also go down. But 16 eliminations, a fearsome game, even going out in 11th.
And I'm sure you can hear that. The entirety of the arena here in Paris lighting up. A spectacle to start here on game 1 of Rondo, and it's Tiamba that lead the charge. Now out of the running, let's see if anyone else can try and mirror their success with what remains.
Flash moving over towards Aura. He's on the south side. They're kind of fighting for nothing on this one as well, because they need to leave at some point in the near future. Jiggle. Fair bit of damage. Flash still got bows in the back line here, lining up a grenade inside the warehouse. Hard to pop these off the wall though, because of all the concrete inside. Godlike though, dealing with Nongshim Red Force. What? Tizzy just lets him run straight into the barrel.
God damn. Shotgun straight to the cranium. Blows him away. Godlike clap back upon from Schweppes in the distance as well. Gets an angle onto him. This is looking tiresome for both teams. I mean, Nongshim down to just the duo. Godlike with only 1 man left remaining. And Alula, they've seen the blood in the water. They want to see if they can roam over. They smell potential points here.
Why not? Honestly, grab them where you can. Alula sends up Yasser. Nongshim Red Force has not got the reset online at all. Still priming nades upstairs. There's going to have to be a big hole. Tizzy on the outside. Luckily, that Molotov is not on target. Tizzy's just going down. What are we doing?
Wait, this is nutty out there. Tried to drop off the top of the rafters, spamming the shots. It's all gone.
I feel like Tizzy just panicked.
I think so.
You just get the res in, bro. Drop the smokes, get the reses. They missed the first molly. At least challenge the res. Goodness me, man, you're going to go down to a perfectly placed Molotov here from Alula. I mean, hats off to these guys. They currently control the entirety of the northern side to themselves. Irina looking to put up another good point here. Aurora playing with our hearts right now. Opening up with maybe a gargantuan game. Leading us to believe it is possible once again for Aurora.
Enigma Galaxy coming out swinging as well. Might have been a bit quiet in terms of the overall aggregate elims we've seen to this point, but we know it's a team that can deliver with some consistency late game. They've got nades as well. Oh, the red zone forming on top of the arena. Thankfully for them, a little bit of deployable cover will make all the difference. Turney K in the back trying to keep his eyes on what's going on, but if you flick to the elim feed, you can see Doc's doing damage. The scalpels come back out for Aurora. And Blank, it was 16 for Tiamba, but Aurora now on 14 elims. They might be able to lap them.
Aurora have been just stamping away here. Reefus again does find Aru, leaving AKOP inside. Will be able to grab win. Actually didn't even grab that. Top was able to steal it. But for OG, they live a lot longer than expected. But with 0 eliminations, they will not get a huge amount off this game other than the placement points involved. AKOP inside. Has to move soon, might just end up denying the point here. Reefus spraying in, has 217 bullets as well, so they have had a lot of loot crates to pursue and peruse.
Akop just trying to keep himself sustained and run the clock down on this one as long as possible, see if he can deny it out to the blue potentially, because if he goes running in there, that's just another point for Aurora.
He's trying to get an extra placing on this one, but I don't think anyone else is going down anytime soon. Still more. He's mistimed it. Yeah, unfortunate. I think he thought that the angle was bad for him, so pulls off the first aid kit there. Sadly, not able to rank up once again. If he'd waited a little bit longer, maybe he would have ranked up over E-Arena here, who will go down shortly, I imagine. Tourniquet not able to weather the pressure here from Alula, who have been impressive this tournament for a team that was kind of down on their luck last year. I don't think a lot of people had high hopes for this squad. They have come into EWC looking fairly decent. Like, a lot of work's been going on for this squad. A lot of practice in the meantime. But Enigma Galaxy up in top 3. A rocky group stage for them, but we're still able to grab those points. And I do attribute some of that to Coops. He is a nuts player on side.
He's been a big King Cooper for this team, bro. Wearing that crown with some of the plays he's making. He wants to slam down on the off-angle peak behind the vehicle here. Alila trapped, cowering. One by one, they eat the bullets and they fall. Huge step up for Enigma Galaxy, and enough time to fix their HP as well before any other fights are forced. The only solo player from Furia, he got just trapped in the ditch between our two teams that are going to scrap for the dinner, and Top finds that one for an extra elim.
Just instantaneous shots coming through. So we're down to Aurora. Reefer swings very wide here over towards the northern edge. And hold both positions. An awkward angle like that could make them very worried. Has a little bit of hard cover here, but it is outside the zone. Gonna wrap back, but at least got the info on side. Coops tries to hit the shots, has to go for the reload here. Gonna go for another as he passes on by. Again, I do think for Enigma Galaxy, Coops is a really big deal. Not just on his own, though. It's the fact that Lord has someone to play off.
Yeah.
Lord is also a very aggressive player, but Ralph and Satan, they like to take it slow, and that's great, and it works out, but you do need someone else to move forward and bank off of one another. So for Enigma Galaxy, I do think this is the perfect setup right now for them. Joel will move forward into the smoke line. 17 eliminations on the game. A teaser, potentially, from Aurora. And we'll hold our breath for it.
Ooh.
Nice. Just unreal.
It's greatly timed from Joel. The shrapnel hitting hard onto Enigma.
He knows, Jackie.
Look at the lineup. Wants to get it behind the cover flare. Barely, but they bait him out enough. That's more chip damage. Coops on half HP.
Molly.
Could be good.
Oh, this is annoying. This is very frustrating for Coops. It's really slowing them down. Giving quite a bit of time for Aurora to reposition off the back of this as well, because both the front targets have been distracted, discombobulated in the chaos. Thought it might be a little harder for Aurora to get back into the circle. They also know the north side's free after that original rotate from Reefus. Ralph had to go back up that angle, but they have all the knowledge in the world going forward here. They've opened up the full library on this game.
A lot of nades being baited out here by Coops as well. He's down to 2 nades and 1 Molotov. Ralph actually being isolated from his off-angle peek round the backside. That's half his HP gone. The vehicle detonates in front of him. One Blessing has got a little bit more cover to try peek off of, but no easy rotation.
Still the 4v4 here. Utility down to nothing on side of most of these players. It will just be a dry gunfight, and honestly, on top form, I do think Aurora beats them out on that. Coops and Lord, though, deadly duo. Prime at the 2 nades. Doc is up front. Is this the dockening once again? Takes 2 nades. Just will tank them. But there's 2 more coming, and I'm not sure he'll be able to do the same on the next. They both go wide. He's going to push forward into the smoke. We'll have to swing back, but one player goes down the back lines. It is Top, and now Aurora's down to 2. Enigma Galaxy is making this happen.
They're standing tall right now. They want to convert this one into a chicken dinner win on game 1 as 2 of Aurora's players buckle under the pressure.
It's over.
Ruthless falls. It's all down to the last man in Joel. They need to isolate the peak as he hits Lord heavy, but he's gone. Cut short.
Oh,
the Aurora is gone.
That is insane. That is insane, Jackie. I got to eat my words on that one as well. I mean, for Enigma Galaxy, what a good game. Did say though, Aurora do like to choke.
The crazy thing is, it was probably the most fit